Well, a little East Coast update. I made it across America on the old Tenere, so that was pretty bitchin'. What happened? Well, rolling into Savannah was pretty surreal, pretty damn exciting to have made it across. I think I left my living room and then ended up on the eastern seaboard, not in a plane, but on a motorcycle. Lots of people had done it, but I hadn't done it, so I was so damn excited, and the feeling of accomplishment rolling into Savannah was palatable. I was just like screaming going over the bridge. I was so damn excited. And but to back it up, going into there, I left Tennessee, and it was funny because something happened. I feel like I hit this slipstream of life or something, where I realized that every morning I wake up, I have no idea where I'm going to get a coffee or breakfast, and then I don't know where lunch is going to come from. I don't know where I'm going that day. I don't know where dinner is going to come from. And I sure as shit don't usually know where I'm going to sleep until maybe like 30 minutes before. And being in that unknown is pretty surreal. And talk about some divine timing, because right as that happened, the SAG strike hit. And I'm an actor, so apparently this affects me, because a lot of people without jobs right now. And so it was so surreal though, because it hit. I was leaving Tennessee. I knew I was going to Savannah, and I was kind of questioning what to do. I mean, I was going to keep riding, but still, like, do I go home? People are all, picketing. Like, what should I do? I literally rolled up to a stop sign asking that in my head, and there was a white line painted across the road in all caps, SAG, next to a stop line, and then there was a line going forward that was spray painted RIDE, and it was basically a stop line, SAG, ride going straight forward. And for me, my path was to keep riding. And so I kind of just put it out of my mind, and it's just went into more of the unknown. And it's pretty surreal to reach that riding the bike, but also in life, because I don't know when my next job's gonna come. I don't know when the strike's gonna end. I don't know where I'm gonna stay. I'm in Jersey now. Didn't know I was gonna end up in New Jersey, let alone here at the West Ave glassing. So thanks to the boys for hooking it up, because now I got a bitchin' place to lock the bike at night and a place to stay. And so anyway, rolled into Savannah. Savannah was hotter than shit, and it was pretty surreal because, I mean, even now, I think the heat index was 107 in Jersey, but back it up. Got a message from Caitlin. You freaking are amazing. She styled me out, got a place to stay, and toured me around Savannah for like 3 days. That was so fun. What a beautiful city. And then my old buddy Jason, who I met over in Indo 7-8 years ago, just like crazy charger. I knew I was gonna link up with him, and got to stay with him and his wife, so in Outer Banks for like 4 or 5 days, which was so sweet. What a place. Cruising around the marshes in his boat and everything. It was just, it was really nice to settle out there. And then I kind of had a little tent blowout because I didn't set my hammock up right, but the guys at Hammock hooked it up and gave me a little update on the tent, so I got that. And then just decided to keep going north, because my only real goal was, I guess, kind of to go to New York City. And there's other people I wanted to see too, but and then headed north and got out of the banks, and very, very grateful for Jason and Heather for taking care of me. And then sent me on my way. Checked out Chicontee, got blasted by a rainstorm finally. I mean, it literally was all the way across the U.S. before I finally hit, but it was raining so hard going into that town in Virginia that I literally could barely see the road. And I finally just started laughing the last half hour. It was so ridiculous. And I was gonna camp. Ended up rolling into town, finding a place, and when I got to the motel, I literally just took my boots off and poured water out of them. And so I was like, well, I guess it finally happened. So, well, it's pretty good. And then headed north again. Jason just happened to know some guys here in Jersey and said, you got to hit them up. And it's so cool. Justin, Tommy, and Andy, the boys, they like opened up the shop for me, and I got a bitchin' glassing room, and they're shaping boards here. And so I've been checking out Long Branch and Asbury Park. Super cool seeing this part of the world. And then crazy, because I'm gonna go to New York City tomorrow. And what happened today is I went to Sandy Hook, which is the northernmost point by where you can see from Jersey, and you're standing on a beach that's a wildlife preserve, looking at Manhattan, and it's just pure cement and glass and 20 million people, and I'm basically standing surrounded by birds and 3 people. It is one of the few times where I've just been, because even in San Francisco, other cities like that, you get that feeling, if you're across the bridge, you're still pretty close to it, and it literally felt like you're in the middle of the wildlife looking at the busiest place on earth. And so it's going to be pretty surreal to go over there. And then that's pretty much it. I mean, the only thing now, I guess, is just it's been really interesting watching human semantics, just in the sense of just like registering people that are seeing a lot of tourists and a lot of people that are just fairly insular in life, and contemplating those that are here to change and rapid development or whatever it is that they're doing, and then seeing people that just really don't care. They're just kind of like cruising along in life. I mean, and a lot of that in the South, where it's just is really interesting to see, coming from LA, where everything's green cars, green this, green everything, and no idling, this and that. It's like all the way through the South up the Eastern Seaboard. I mean, it's so hot. People just leave their cars running with the AC pumping. I see that so much, and it's so interesting to just feel that in culture, the differences in just the Eastern Seaboard all the way through the South and stuff like that, where it really does make me realize that like we're living in a bubble kind of out there in LA and that whole Malibu area and stuff like that, how dissimilar that is from almost like the rest of America, it feels like, but populated obviously with a lot of people from the rest of America. So just it was very interesting taking note about that, and just watching people kind of just like walk and cruise through life, and thinking about what I'm doing now, and then realizing, I mean, I've realized it before, but obviously just accepting everybody's here on a different path, and they're doing their thing, I'm doing my thing. I'm standing on a sandy beach while there's 20 million people in like across the bay, and it's pretty cool seeing just connecting humanity together, I guess, but also connecting the landscape. And then the other thing that was pretty cool is that, man, when you look at the eastern coast, and I was thinking about Europe, London, but the UK, and it's just so similar over here to the Eastern Seaboard. I can see why people lived on the East Coast, and it took them a while to migrate west, because when you came over here, why would you leave, So anyway, cruising to New York tomorrow, and up the Eastern Seaboard. Dan Brown, I'll see you soon.